Yo, what is up, YouTube? You know what time it is? I think it's time to make a difference. Welcome to STP 1440. It's the YouTube channel where we make nothing into something. The average college kid fixing and flipping weekly. I hope you guys enjoy the new season. So looking back on season 1, we actually had a great turnout. Turned that $0 to $1,000, met our goal and some. We actually ended up making $2,500 at the end of season 1. So for season 2, I had to grow that $2,500 into our goal of now $5,000. We got to keep it going. So I wanted to throw all my eggs in one basket this time and do one big project. And I found this truck online. It caught my eye. It looked good, so I had to go check it out. So keep in mind, I'm in college this whole time, so I had to capitalize on any free time I had available. So finished a microbiology final up, went home that night. The next day, hooked the trailer up, went to South Carolina to check this thing out. And I got there, it looked good. Obviously, it was dinged up and the interior was rough, but the frame was good and the body was a good start. So we did a little bit of bargaining, and he had a price in mind, I had another price in mind, so we flipped a coin. How crazy is this? And I won the coin toss. So I ended up getting the truck for $1,500. It was pretty sweet. You guys see that truck riding my tail? Heck no way, that's the truck, baby, we got it. Woo! Man, came down not for $2,000, not for $1,800, but for the first time ever in my life. A coin toss, and we won it. $1,500 was the final deal. We got it, baby, it's gonna be an awesome flip. So I got the truck home, got it up on jack stands. You can see here, it's rough, but it's a great start for an awesome project soon to come. I want to give you guys a little insight though into a few issues that are just, surface level. This fender, custom. And the floor pans, solid. Tailgate, doesn't even work. Best of all, you couldn't drive this thing even if you wanted to because we don't have a drive shaft. All right. Enough messing around. It's time to get to work and take this thing apart. And it's funny, you guys only seen about 1/4 of the work that actually went into this disassembly. It seemed like every other bolt was rusted out and I had to cut it off or drill it out. But, that's work. All right, so I'm taking this here tire off. That way I can get to the bolts that hold this fender on a little bit better. It's in the way, and I'm taking the lug nuts off. And look at this. The lug nut just broke the bolt that holds the tire on right off. Just clean. My projects take longer than expected because something's bound to go wrong, but I'll fix it. Let's get back at it. It's funny how things break like that, but it'd be too easy if everything went according to plan. But the rest of this disassembly went pretty well until I got to this front frame support. I got the nut off the bolt on the frame support, but the thing was so rusted on it just wouldn't budge. You can see right here, I tried to lift it off, didn't work. I used the jack to try to press it off the frame, didn't work. Tried to use the impact wrench, didn't work. Tried to use a sledgehammer and just smack the thing, didn't work. So I ended up having to take a cutting wheel and just cut the bolt and the frame support cylinder thing in half and got it off. And onto the interior, and then taking the engine out. And taking the engine off is just a bunch of prep work really. It's about taking all the components off that lock that thing in the engine bay, but I actually forgot to take the starter off, and the first time I tried to pull it, it was stuck because the starter covers the flywheel and locks that thing in. But then I realized it, and once I took it off, the engine came out real smooth. Alright, so engine pulled, things been washed down now, so now what I'm going to do is take a wire brush, and I'm just going to wire brush the entire everything that I'm about to paint, and then I'm going to rust seal it with a paint that transforms rust into a solid surface and stops the rust from progressing. And then after that we start body work, and then hopefully paint in 2 to 3 days, man, that'd be awesome. So like I said, I had to wire brush everything. Once the car was disassembled, I wire brushed the entire frame and most of the subframe from the rear to the front, including the engine bay, and got that thing ready for the rust sealing paint. Once it was wire brushed, I cleaned it and degreased it. I didn't include that because it's just a wash. And then we painted with the rust sealer, and the results are as follows. So now the frame and the bottom of the truck is ready to see the weather. Okay, so this next scene is really funny. It's after that wire brushing and painting, I was absolutely filthy, and I had to get hosed down before I could step in the house. And it was such a scene, we actually ended up catching some neighbors' attention too. But who else better to trust for such a serious operation than good old Mom? But little did I know what was in store for me.
It's gonna hurt.
Rest in peace to my face, 1995 through 2020. Trap operation never succeeded, and he went on to heal for months. Just kidding, but it was pretty funny. So now we're cleaned up, back to the cab and patching it up and onto those floor pans. So I traced out my floor pan pattern and got the cutting wheel to cut them out, and then after I cut them I had to wire brush the perimeter so I had a good bare metal surface to weld to.
Okay, so I'm just wire brushing now to remove the rust around the edge of this so I can weld to a good surface, but I slipped while I was wire brushing and I wire brushed just like part of my skin off right there. Kinda hurt, but I guess I'm not perfect, but keep moving forward, right? Let's get it.
Alright, so we wire brushed off the perimeter now, and I actually left a 2 to 3 inch skirt of old metal to overlap with the new floor pans, and then I just welded about 5-inch strips every couple of inches, and those things were now solid and in there secure, ready to be sealed.
Alright, so we just finished the interior, those floor pans welded in, truck bed coated, sealed off, and now the next problem that I gotta tackle is this truck bed. You can see here there's rust all on this front edge. It's just where leaves and water have been settling over time and building up. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this fiberglass mat and I cut 4 pieces out. I'm gonna lay it in a lattice, overlapping, slightly staggered, and pour resin on it, and that will fill the holes. It will be very strong, and then I will truck bed coat it once it dries, and it should look great. So let's get at it.
So I got those fiberglass patches in, they were solid, and I actually ended up moving on to a few hours of cab body work, and I didn't have time to video, I was just trying to use the sunlight most effectively, but tons of progress was made and much more to come in episode 2.
Well, that wraps up body work day 4. Well, that wraps up day 4. All the body work on the cab is now done, and I look like a raccoon, but it's nice to enjoy this little sunset to close the day off. As you guys know, 1,440 minutes in every day. Use them wisely, stay at it. Until next episode, STP 1440.